Good afternoon, everybody. A couple of quick notes. First, I want to congratulate our volleyball team and Coach Ed Allen. Big-time victory yesterday, four-set win. Really proud of them and all of their hard work. I know often, when I'm in an interview and setting like this, I'm normally either talking about our team or our women's basketball team or, obviously football. But rarely do I say something about Ed and the job he's doing with our volleyball team. So congrats to them. Obviously, we want to wish our football team and Coach Saban and his staff all the best in the Iron Bowl on Saturday. I know it's going to be a great game, and hopefully, we'll continue to play at a high level and be victorious there. In terms of UTA, UT-Arlington, Coach Cross has done a great job with their team. I want to just send out an alert. We really need our fans for this game. If you can make it, please come out and support us. This is arguably the best nine-man rotation of a non-conference opponent that we've seen here at Coleman Coliseum since I've been here. They're a veteran team. They play 5 or 6 seniors in their rotation. They know what they're doing. Kevin Hervey and Eric Neal, they're starting 4-man and point guard. They are exceptional. They can play at any school in the country. They're really that good. And the rest of their team, they all play their role to a very high level. So what that means for us is we're going to have to raise our level of commitment in terms of the way we communicate, the way we compete, and just our toughness and just all of the different technical fundamentals that we preach every day. We're going to have to raise our level against this team because they're very good. Braxton is out, obviously. He's doing well, progressing well. He will continue to progress to whatever that next level of rehab is. But, he's doing well, extremely well. Riley will be a game-time decision. So what that means is he'll go through another practice on today, and then we'll evaluate him in the morning in terms of how he recovers from this practice. And then Armand's out for the next 2 weeks. He will not travel with us, and we'll have another update on him in the next 2 weeks.
Just how have you seen Riley progress in practice and just kind of how he's coming along and the demeanor he's kind of had as that senior leader, maybe not even being able to play out there, being on the sidelines?
When you've been in a program for the last 2 years with our staff, there's a level of confidence and a level of leadership because he knows what he's doing. And he's very familiar with playing in games like the one we're going to have, whether he plays tomorrow or the games in Brooklyn. So he understands the passion and the attention to detail that must be needed to be successful. We can't have the type of 7 possessions we had in our last game at home and be successful. So Riley can basically deliver our message to the players like no one else because he's been in it. He's played in some tough games with us over the last 2 years.
Kind of along those same lines, how much do you think Riley can help with the communication, the on the floor, kind of getting people in the right place defensively and also even offensively a little bit?
Well, we're missing a charge guy. Here's a guy that loves to take charges, and he's a scrappy guy. So when we talk about getting dirty rebounds, he's a dirty rebound guy. He's not just a cute rebound guy. So when you don't have him in the locker room in some of the tough games, obviously, you miss that part about him. He does a good job of playing defense without fouling. So we saw we fouled a lot against Memphis. You know, had he been involved in that game, maybe we wouldn't have gotten in the bonus so early. So there are a lot of things that Riley brings to the table that we've been missing. And hopefully, you know, as he continues to get his game legs under him, at some point he'll be able to help us.
UT-Arlington may not be kind of a name brand to a lot of people, but when you watch them on film, obviously they return a lot from last year. What sticks out the most to you as making them so dangerous?
They don't beat themselves. They move the ball. They take great care of the basketball. They have great spacing. They're familiar with different defenses. They don't get rattled. So it's just a team that they're like a well-oiled machine. They know what they're doing. They've been together. They've been in a lot of big games. You know, they just went on the road and you know, won pretty convincingly. So coming to Coleman Coliseum, I don't think that's going to faze them. So they're a confident team, and they play very well. They play very well together.
Coach, John Petty's the SEC Freshman of the Week this week, and you know, obviously he's coming off a big game against Alabama A&M. How do you think he's played a lot of basketball, a lot of AAU basketball. So how will he handle that coming off a game like that?
Well, he's not a kid that gets arrogant. He's very competitive. He's not the guy that's, you know, look at me. He's all about the team. Very competitive kid. You know, he's a lot more mature than his age. So I don't think because he had, you know, a good shooting night from behind the three-point line that he's going to come out in the next game beating his chest. He digests our scouting report and is as focused as anybody. So I just think he's going to come out and do whatever he needs to do to try to help us win if that's taking a shot. As I've said all along, and I've heard it from a lot of people, even at that next level, he's a really good passer. So he'll pass the ball to the open man if that's what the play calls for. So I just think he'll do whatever it takes for us to win.
First off, did you have an Iron Bowl score prediction for us?
None, nope. Just hope we finishes like every game that I've been here since day one when I went to the game in Dallas. And who did we play? Was it Wisconsin 2 years ago? Was that right? Just hoping and praying we finish with one more point, and I don't care how ugly or pretty it is. That's normally what I think about.
Okay. And the real question about the freshmen, how obviously they're a few games into their run here, how have they molded in with some of the veterans? How do you think that's gone in terms of just integrating into the system?
I think they've integrated themselves. At first, in a way, I thought we had two separate teams, but now we have one team. There's no hidden agendas. We've had a lot of stuff that's brought us closer together. Guys tend to appreciate each other. So I think we've been through a lot together on and off the court, and I think that's forged a really good bond with our team. And I'm sure down the road there'll still be some little flickers or that I have to put out before it becomes a fire. But if you look at the way they cheer for each other, you look at the way they function on the court here early in the season, I think it's all about Alabama, the name on the front of the jersey. And even though we talk about the freshmen and the returning players, there's really no divide. I think we're all together.
Coach, I know you probably don't pay too much attention to the rankings, but being in the AP Top 25, is that just a step for the program and just good to see for where the program's headed?
Well, I think I mentioned this maybe in our preseason press conference. We're not going to take an arrogant stance and, in one sense, say it doesn't matter, okay? We haven't won 5 championships and 16 championships in our history, and maybe teams like that in whatever sport, if they're ranked 10th or 5th or 1st in the country, they can say that it doesn't matter. In one sense, we need small victories to help us not only with this year but moving forward. But, yeah, there's the other side where we're only focused on today's practice, tomorrow's game. But if our name continues to show up in those polls, it's good for Alabama basketball, and it's good for the morale of our program. That's my honest answer. I'm not going to give you the real coach's answer and say, you know, we could care less about it. That wouldn't be the truth. Okay? Okay, thanks.